Ready? Check. Okay, welcome everyone. This is the meeting of the Public Health, Safety, and Transportation Committee. It is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025, and it's exactly 4 o'clock. First item on the agenda is to call the roll, please.
Chairperson Mike Seville.
Here.
Vice Chair Bill Donnell.
Here.
Alderwoman Wani Garza.
Here.
Alderman John Lash.
Present.
Alderman Ted Masiacos.
Present.
5 present.
Okay, approval of minutes 25-0214. Approval of the minutes from the PHS&T meeting held on March 11, 2025.
So
Is there a
moved.
motion?
Second.
Moved by Alderman Masiacos, second by Alderman Donnell. Any corrections, additions, or deletions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 5-0. Do we have any members of the public wishing to give testimony?
No one has signed up.
Okay, we'll move to the agenda then. We have 2 items, 25-0222. A resolution establishing the maximum number of licenses for tattoo and body art establishments in accordance with Chapter 25, Article 11, tattoo and body art establishments. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Lisa Zapata, Revenue Collections Manager. So I have a tattoo parlor that is changing ownership. The tattoo parlor location is located at 1161 North Farnsworth Ave, Suite B. That's currently where Ronin Tattoo is located. And the owner has indicated that he is closing business and a new owner is coming in to do the same type of business. So I am requesting the addition of this license, which is again, change of ownership.
So we're keeping the same number, we're just changing the owners.
Correct.
Okay. Is there a discussion?
Hours and everything want to be the same?
I'm sorry, what?
The hours want to be the same hours like before?
The hours for the new location will be 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. I don't have in front of me the hours of the old location.
Was a little bit late. Now want to be 7 p.m.?
They're usually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
7 days a week?
7 from Tuesday through Sunday,
Tuesday to
so
Sunday?
6 days. Mhm.
Alderman Lash?
What's the name of the new establishment?
The Inquiry Tattoo?
Okay, and
And I'm
what's?
sorry, the owner was supposed to be here, but I don't see him as of
Oh,
yet.
there they
He's
are.
right there.
Oh, he is?
I was
Oh,
gonna
I'm
ask
sorry,
a
this is in
question.
the corner.
Want to join us?
Come on up. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Mike Nielsen. Gordon, sorry. Mike's my middle name.
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. My name is Mike Nielsen.
Okay. Want to tell us a little bit of something about you, Mike?
I own the Inquiry in Oswego. I also own Quick Signs in Oswego. We've been in business 8 years in Oswego for the Inquiry, and I've been in business 20 years for Quick Signs in Oswego.
Okay. Any questions of Mike?
No. We want to just clarify, so 7 days a week when we open?
6 days.
Or 6 days?
6 days.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Donnell?
So your predecessor is closing up shop. Do you think this is a good location? You obviously do, or you wouldn't be investing money. Can you tell you what maybe you're going to do to be more successful than the last guy that was here?
Just more marketing. He didn't really have a lot of business experience. So, I mean, we've been doing in Oswego for 8 years, and I'm swamped. So he's actually coming to work for us in Oswego,
Oh, okay.
the old owner. So,
Thanks.
Okay. No further discussion. Is there a motion?
Motion to
real-
approve?
Which ward is this in? Sorry.
Dan Barrero's ward.
Ward 1.
Ward 1.
Okay. No
Okay.
further questions. Second.
It's been moved by Alderwoman Wani Garza, second by Alderman Lash. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the second item is 25-0237, resolution authorizing entering into agreement with the Board of Education of Indian Prairie Community Unit School District 204 for the installation of an outdoor warning sign. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ooh, am I on? Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon, members of the council. My name is Natalie Wiza, Emergency Management Coordinator for the city. I brought with me today Colin Pradle. He is our Technological and Communications Specialist with the agency. We're coming before you today. We're nearing the stages of installation of a new outdoor warning siren here in Aurora. We worked with the vendor for quite a while to identify the most ideal location to fill a gap that we noticed. In working with the vendor, we figured out that that location is going to be the best in terms of maximizing the sound distance and closing that gap. What ultimately happened over the years was with the increase of economic development, there was no plan to install new sirens. So a couple of years ago, we started this project to close in some gaps. So we're coming to you today. We are already established in contract with District 204. We currently have a siren. It'll be on the south side of Route 30 at Fisher Middle School. So that was established years ago. So because we already have an executed agreement with them, we had the conversation and they agreed. We went through and we want to put another siren on their school district property and go ahead and fill up those gaps. So I'm going to digress because I tried to provide as much information as possible in the Legistar item. Colin is here on the technical side of installation for the siren if there are any questions.
Have anything you wanted to add, Colin?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you have anything to add?
I do not.
Okay. Alderman Denell?
So, could you refresh my memory? What kind of radius do you normally work with when you're locating one of these sirens? What's the effective radius?
Most of the sirens we get are 1.5 to 2 miles. Colin has the specs and information. We did have an afterthought. I apologize when we did the agenda item, but he does have maps available to hand out if you'd like to look at them and see the coverage today.
I would.
After he hands them out, he'll explain the different colors and how that coverage intersects throughout that section of Aurora.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I could continue.
Yes, sir.
I live close to Lincoln Park, so we hear that siren, and my puppy now howls when that goes off. So she's trying to sound the alarm for others, I guess.
That's good redundancy.
Yeah. So, but obviously, some of these, I went out and looked at this one day. It's pretty close to houses, but that's common, isn't it?
Yes, that is common. It's just the nature of how we're set up in Aurora. When I speak to economic development, the city grew so fast over the years, so wide and so tall. What ends up happening with the established outdoor warning siren network is you get further out, you can't get that ring of coverage, but also you now have vegetation and buildings and other man-made structures that impede the delivery of the outdoor warning siren. Again, our goal is not to penetrate buildings and have someone inside a home or a building hear the siren. It's to warn people that are outside. But we're trying to close that gap because we have lots of parks over there. We have green space. We have open space. We have schools. And so it's very important that we try to get that audio to them. If you want to explain the coverage on the maps, Colin, go ahead.
So, again, Colin Pradle, City of Aurora Emergency Management. On the map, the green dot and circle is the coverage radius for the new siren. It covers the portion just south of Matea, which was a spot that wasn't as well covered beforehand. With the weather sirens, we try and have redundancy, so in case one goes out. The pinkish purple that's in the far right, that is a siren from Naperville. The thing is that does kind of cover and fill in some of the gaps for our town, but with our sirens going off well before Naperville's, it hits their threshold. It is better for us to be able to control, obviously, what goes on in our city when it relates to the weather sirens. The red is all the other sirens that are in the area to just kind of show the coverage map. And this is all about 2.5 miles, which is average. As Natalie mentioned, 2.5 miles is kind of the maximum during ideal conditions. The buildings and such is what it helps, or what usually cuts down the amount of coverage. The blue, which is in the bottom left, just for notation's sake, that is another siren that's going to be, or we're working on putting in the MLK Park. So just so you can see, we have areas of redundancy throughout the whole town.
Those are the two locations in terms of population density and economic growth that a gap really didn't get closed on. But when we go from west to east with our entire map, we have very little gaps up until those two locations.
So obviously you're not showing all the sirens.
Not on that map, no.
How many sirens do we have in the city?
With Aurora sirens alone, it is, I believe, 18.
Mhm.
We also set off the Village of North Aurora sirens, since we dispatch for their police. We also set off for their sirens.
You would know.
And they have one that's, would be on the left side of this map by the Fox River. But as far as just Aurora sirens, I believe it's 18.
That's right, with the ones that we just handed back over to Montgomery and Sugar Grove.
Correct.
And we would be owning this one too?
Yes, all of the sirens that are in
So
Aurora are
that'll
owned
be
by Aurora.
19 then, is that what you're saying, Colin?
Correct.
So again, I'm just more curious than anything, and I'm very supportive of this, obviously, but I'm just curious. So when you locate closer to homes, and the things are pretty high, does the sound kind of go over top of those close homes? If I was going to get a complaint, which I haven't, how would we address that? Because they're loud.
They are loud, they can be very
I was walking the
loud.
little dog when she first heard it, and we were probably just the right distance away, 2 blocks or something like that.
Right, so as we talk about the up to 2 or 2.5 miles, depending on the model that we get, this model will go the 2.5 miles. That is a difference between the first Tuesday of the month when it's blue skies outside and it's getting tested at 10 a.m. to we're in a severe storm situation. So if we're in a severe storm situation, they may hear it in their homes, but they're really going to hear it on the first Tuesday of the month because typically there's no outdoor noise or activity happening. I would hope that there's no complaints. We've fielded calls in the office where, well, we couldn't hear it, and so we have to figure out, was it the storm or was it a faulty siren? We get out there right away if that's the case. So it's meant to disperse. The head of the siren rotates, it will disperse out, so it'll be a warbling type volume that they'll hear. But yes, unfortunately, it can be very loud on those first Tuesday tests.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Lash?
I know this is just the IGA, but what is the anticipated cost, both for infrastructure and to put the tower up roughly?
Correct. So we started this project in 23. We got approval to move forward in the budget process. There was approximately, without having it in front of me, $55,000 of budget put into our funds put into our budget. Unfortunately, we were still up against supply chain issues. So during the time of getting the parts and pieces in, we worked with the vendor to identify these locations. We're just having to go through this. So roughly it is a city cost of $55,000 upfront for this siren and that MLK Park location. So that's 2 sirens combined for that $55,000. The annual maintenance is what's considered a contract. So we have an open purchase order every year. This year we can see it, or excuse me, when these sirens get installed, it will increase slightly because now we have to put the cost of that in. Previous years we have not spent over $21,000 in an open purchase order for maintenance. We have unfortunately had some circumstances where we had one siren just decide to stop working, another one just set off on its own. So we had items that we had to take care of, which may have increased over time. But the annual maintenance I can see with the total package now with the addition of 2, so that's 20 sirens, we're going to look between $23,000 and $25,000 for that open. That does allow us some emergency circumstances if a siren takes off and breaks, but that doesn't mean we're always going to spend that amount of money. We try to be as real as possible and close as possible to the final contract at the end of the year.
No further questions, thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Janela, second by Alderman Masiacos. Any further discussion? I'm sorry, Lash. Okay, Alderman Lash then.
The second. No, I was the second, I think is what
Okay.
you said.
I thought I heard you, so. It's all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business to come before this committee? If not, motion for adjournment is in
Motion to
order.
adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Garza, second by Alderman Lash. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. We are adjourned at 4:15, 5-0. Thank you, one and all.